I haven't seen a whole lot of Weary Days hero pool. I want to say he plays like Stukov and Ana, but I don't think I've seen a ton past that. Oh, and Uther. I think he's one of the Uther players. So they banned Chromie away from Madara. That makes sense. And Hosty, I don't know what Hosty's hero pool is. And I don't know. I think he's been playing more recently, but only in like the past month or so. Why is there no draft sound? Hello? I want my draft sounds. Alright, well, we're just gonna have the silent draft going on, I guess. So they've been Sylve, taking that away from Maka most likely. Makes sense. Just a strong S tier hero. Next ban, their first pick, so they won't ban Diva. Or they can probably want ETC as a tank, so yeah, they can ban a different tank, like Garrosh. Is that the best tank to ban? Probably. I think it's kind of between Garrosh and Johanna there, but Johanna just feels so much weaker. Maybe Mei. I'm not sure how comfortable people are with Mei yet. She still feels kind of weird. Junkrat is a ban, so now they can take Diva first pick. I think they will do that. Next up, they'll follow up with a mage and then probably something. They don't need to pick offlane, but they can if they want to. Maybe Urel or something. I think this will probably be a Madara type mage though. Maybe Jaina, maybe Orphea, Kael'thas Gul'dan, something like that. And then if they're not picking offlane, then they should probably take ETC here for themselves. They're going with Johanna. Maybe they don't want to go as much wave clear in the DPS. Gonna go Hosty Greymane. Not as big a fan of that personally. I think I would have gone ETC and some sort of wave clear hero here. I don't like picking Greymane that early in general, and I don't think he's good enough against D.Va to justify it. But especially so on this map, because this is probably one of Greymane's weaker maps, just because it's so wave clear focused. Stukov. He'll be really good late game, but I don't know, this map does go late game a lot. So yeah, they take the ETC back away, which makes sense. Stukov is a good pairing, especially with D.Va and ETC, I think, actually. And also gives armor against the Greymane damage, so I like that overall. As far as the ban goes here, they need to ban Wave Clear. They're probably going to go for some sort of Burst Mage. I think a Jaina, maybe a Kael'thas, something like that would be strong here. They're going to go for Raynor. I mean, Raynor's decent. I'm not a big fan of the Raynor ban there personally, but what would that signal if I'm their team? What would I want to not play Raynor into? Maybe Mouth Tracer? They might go for that and just try and gank the D.Va a lot. I don't think Madara plays Tracer though. It's another type of gank hero. They might go for Maiev. Maiev is pretty decent. And pairs well with Johanna. They're going to ban the Ana. I think that's probably a good ban. Yeah, I might consider Deckard here also. I think I lean towards Ana though. No, I think that's correct as far as bans go. Deckard does pair well with Johanna, but Ana's sleep is very deadly for them. So they take the Deckard. They're going to go with the Urel. They're going to hold on their DPS. They want to see what the DPS look like from Red Team first. I think you should maybe hold off lane here. Well, no. Because you already know they're off laner too. I think maybe you hold Deckard, because they've already picked Stukov. Yeah, I think you should go DPS Urel there, and take a DPS away from them. I think you should hold Deckard there for sure. They're going to go with Jaina. Cassia is good. Breaks through the Urel armor past level 20 and has big damage to pressure both Urel and Johanna at 16. Jaina's the burst DPS they were expecting. What would they take into Jaina? They need a bit more wave clear themselves, I think. With Junkrat off the table, they could go Phoenix possibly. I don't think Tychus is good enough here, but maybe it is. I think they're going to go for some sort of mage. Kael'thas. Tassadar. I am not a big fan of Tassadar after his nerfs. And I think especially into Cassia, Stukov, ETC, and maybe even D.Va, he's going to be pretty hard to play. Especially Cassia Valkyrie is very easy to do off his Q and just pull him in every single time. I think this game is going to center a lot around whether ETC can live through engages. I'm not sure which team. I still think I would lean towards red team out of those two as far as comps go, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I think I liked it better until the Tassadar, although especially with the Greymane, I don't feel like Greymane does a whole lot for them either. And it's only okay, I think, compared with the Tassadar. It'll be very good late game, but they might struggle in the early game. So I would give the early game advantage to red, and late game scaling towards blue. Past level... Is 16 even good enough for blue team? I think they might need all the way to 20s. I think 16s might still favor red. That's a long time to wait for 20s on Tomb. I mean, if they can play slow enough and scale, they'll be fine. I wish they would show talents and stuff at level 1. We've got Sapphire. They kind of were late loading into the game as well, a little bit. So you missed some of the first talents of people that insta-lock them like me. Tassadar is Q. I think that's expected. I've been seeing people go auto attack, but I don't really feel like it's worth it. You could also go W if you're scared of them getting picks on you, like if you're against, I don't know, Garrosh or something. Although Tassadar is okay into Garrosh. Okay, we've got Globes. This Spine Launcher on Stukov. Pretty good engage here onto the ETC. Yeah, this is going to be the problem, is if ETC blows up on the engage, then that's going to be a big problem for them. Cassie's charge strikes, of course. He's block party. And we see Dauntless on Yrel. Blue side does have a bit of the wave clear advantage because Tassadar can just insta-clear it. I don't think ETC wants to be sliding in the early game. I think they just need to focus on wave clear and camps, and they need to just kind of poke them down with Cassio damage mainly. If he slides anyone, it should be Greymane or Tassadar. Yeah, like this. But Jaina already used Blizzard, so they're not going to get a kill there. So blue is going to be ahead on the rotations because the Johanna Tassadar can just instant clear the wave. Greymane can go for the camp pretty early on here. It's a good boop in on D.Va, but they're not going to really get anything from it. So now red has taken over because they were a bit faster on the rotate mid. And now they have to wait for Jaina Blizzard. She used E there. I'm not a big fan of that. Don't think you should use E unless Blizzard is on cooldown, and I think Blizzard was just coming off cooldown there. Johanna's Hold Your Ground, of course. I do like the Sapphire from Deckard, because he's going to need to use Sapphire to engage for Johanna, especially pre-10. So yep, they're getting this camp out early. Red team is a little bit slower doing this. They should have been on it, I think, a little bit earlier. But overall, not too bad. I think it'll be hard for Jaina to stack up her quest this game. Also, she's going to have to mainly do it off Johanna stepping up. And shielding all of it, so it's not even going to be damage that sticks or pressures anybody, really. And having this camp come out slower from red team means that blue is going to get a really big push here. It's a good wall. It's one of my favorite walls to do on the mid gate there. I think Madara should be trying to queue past and hit like the Stukov, or the Bruiser camp, or the wave, or just hit a tower instead of the mid wall. Yeah, Jaina is going to really struggle here. They have good damage trade onto Johanna, but I don't think they have enough to pressure her, especially with wall. It's good. Nasmus is peeling. It's interesting that they've swapped to Nasmus and Greymane. I guess Greymane is probably pretty favored into D.Va as far as poke goes. And as long as he's not getting ganked, he should be fine. Red is not going to get nearly as strong of a push here, especially with Jaina having to rotate up to catch the top wave. That's definitely a benefit of lane swapping here with the Yrel. Greymane does have the siege camp pushing a bit harder bot lane, so blue is still ahead. This is good flank from Nasmus. Madara's out of mana though, and they just don't have the damage without Greymane to really pressure a kill, so with them going back to base, getting some mana up before they hit 50 gems and level 7, not much too crazy should be happening here. Greymane was able to get the mech kill. Still has the siege giant here. That's lived for a very long time. I feel like it should be harder for Greymane to step up for gems, but maybe they're just okay losing some of them, because I think red was also losing some topside. So I think it evens out. Good dodge by Nasmus. Blue has a 5-man collapse on mid now. Looks like they've just swapped the lanes back now that they are a little bit ahead. Good damage from Tassadar there. That was a weird wall. I'm not sure why he walled that way. Greymane looks like he's going to get out. Kind of a waste of the self-cleanse there. That'll be up at 8:30 or 8:42 on Greymane. Yrel possibly getting gems in bot side. Yep, it looks like she did. Red is going to be able to get the turn in though. For blue, I thought blue was going to get it there, but that's nice. I haven't really seen too many big Deckard roots hitting, except for maybe level 1. So I think their communication or just follow-up there is kind of off so far. Because if they're landing these Deckard roots, then they're killing ETC instead of him living with like 30% HP every time. Good boop away from Hacho, I think it was. I think that Jaina Blizzard was a little bit wasted. I don't think they have kill pressure. I'm not really a big fan of ETC sliding forward so much. Especially onto Johanna, who I don't think they really have kill pressure for. I think if anything, Red should rotate top and try and pressure the Tassadar off the wave. Because they don't have kill pressure, I don't think, here. Well, if Hosty tanks a wave, they do. Hosty is just not paying attention, I guess. That's a much better Blizzard. I think she could have positioned it to also hit the well, but the well was dying anyway. Good self-cleanse out of Cassia. Good slide out from ETC. Red still has Web Weavers pushing bottom. Jaina's catching top lane. They can rotate and possibly get a kill on D.Va here. I don't like Weird going around the left side there, and he tanked a wave. I think Weird should have gone aggressive there, followed his tank and the Tassadar, since they were looking aggressive. And yeah, I think Deckard should have rotated aggressively there. Red team looking for a pick on Madara. They do have the slide. Good self-cleanse by Madara. Yeah, they just don't have the damage there to follow up. I think the slide in from ETC again is kind of just getting punished. Like, he traded half of his health bar for 20% of Tassadar's, and Tassadar was already going to back anyway, so kind of really doesn't do anything for them. It's getting dismounted a lot also on these rotates. Cassia is doing a very good job controlling the rotate, though. I don't like that Cassia went plate at level 4. I think Inner Light is just strictly better at level 4 now. They do get the kill there. Jaina's going standard build. We do have, I think that's Shield Potions and Emerald from Deckard. Most other builds look pretty standard, I would say. Although Greymane went for mana return at 4, I think, instead of the armor. Armor would be mostly against Cassia. I guess Stukov and maybe ETC as well. Or I think the stealth could also be good for him. Stealth doesn't do too much. I think I would go the armor. You really don't need the mana, I don't think. Bless Shield, Ardent Defender, Sleep, Archon, of course, Welly, Massive Shove. I do like Massive Shove here. You can just separate the Archon, or the Deckard Sleep, or a Yrel diving your backline, or a Greymane even. Got Curse Bullet, of course, Valkyrie, Mosh Pit, and I believe that's just standard micro missiles. I'm not sure the icons on D.Va's ults yet, but good pick from them on D.Va. She's going to lose 15 gems here on the bot side. Blue also has a Web Weaver turn in. They've already got the wall down here from the push Greymane did earlier, so they're going to be able to get probably bot fort off of this if they want to. I think they're going to mostly focus topside though. Generally bot lane isn't too important on this map. Even the fort can be alive while you're ending the game most of the time. Or a good percentage of the time. It's only like the fort dies after you get like 2 or 3 turn-ins. It's not generally that you would get it off the first turn-in, so with red 5 lopsided on the bottom side of the map here, they are definitely going to focus topside, and this is really good job by, I think that's Red Robot, yep, stalling the rotation. I think he could have held off on dismounting them there. Yeah, this kind of feels like an int, maybe, that he didn't really need to do. Good sleep by Deckard to save him. Good, oh, the unstoppable there on the Valkyrie hitting Deckard was pretty bad. Nasmus is in trouble, gets shoved to safety, actually. They were able to get the top fort, so he kind of stalled off the rotation top, but I think they came down in that trade still, although they do still have 3 ults. Good ult by Yrel, really good engage here. That's going to be a route that lands. They need to kill the Cassia there, they do. Yrel dying is fine. They popped Archon to secure the kill on Cassia. I think that was smart. Top lane pushed in really far. I think they just want to set up to do their camps after this. Is that Jaina losing a lot of gems? Okay, no, it's the other team. It's hard to tell on Observer sometimes. This is gonna get a lot of keep damage here. Yikes. That is below half keep. That is like a 40% keep. Dang. Alright, so if they ever get a boss or a level lead or anything, and they have a big turn-in, if they get wiped or something, they can just like end the game almost already. So that is very huge. They got the camp bruiser. Both sides have enough gems to turn in here. I think Greymane should be doing the bot lane siege right now. Although, if they get a pick on D.Va, that is also pretty big. Mosh Pit is still on cooldown for a little while. I don't think either team wants to fight here. If anything, Blue does a little bit because they're going to be 13 off this wave. But I think they would rather get the camp. They are going to try and sneak a turn in. Nobody's really zoning for the D.Va, but the D.Va's just not brave enough to check it. I think D.Va should be survivable enough that she could have checked and stopped that, but it looks like they're just going to get the turn in for free. Still no Mosh for 10 seconds. I hope they're timing that, because that ETC flank looked scary until you realize that there's no Mosh. Tassadar stacking decently. Jaina's done with Globe Quest. Not doing too hot on Ice Block. I think you want to be at least above like 8 to 10k by 13. You can have it done by 13, but in this game you won't. It's just really hard for her to stack against only the Johanna pretty much stepping up. Maybe a little bit of the Urel also. ETC went the movement speed and Pinball Wizard. I'm not a fan of that build personally. I think Echo Pedal would help their wave clear a little bit. Bud's tanking the Spider Wave. Jaina's just stuck clearing top. They're going to get the entire mid and bot fort off this, it looks like. That has them set up very good to be 16. I think Blue could have flanked and probably picked off at least the D.Va mech, force out the mech there if they were faster on that. But I think they wanted to secure the mid fort, which is kind of fair. I don't think Blue has any reason to fight until they are 16 now. I think they just need to play safe and soak. They can even allow Red to turn in and just waste 55 gems at this point. They are going to try and force the keep here. This seems overly aggressive. They do still have the Spider bot lane, but if anything, you would rather save top keep and give bot keep wall. So I don't even think D.Va should be down there, but even with just D.Va down there, looks like they're able to defend, and Stukov mid. So I think Blue just kind of was wasting time. I mean, they don't really have anything else to do, so I guess it's fine, but I think that was potentially a way that they threw, but never punished, so it's fine. This camp invade is also aggressive, I think. They did see them on top side, I believe, checking boss. It's a good route to disengage. Good force wall as well. So yeah, they're trying to get some stuff for free. Good on Red to not give it to them for free and to contest them when they properly should. They're not really able to get a big punish from it, but not really coming out behind from it either. This Jaina, they need to control vision much better for this Jaina. Yeah, allowing that blast shield to happen is just straight up kind of trolling. That was very greedy of them, I think. But they do pick up the gems on Corgi Booty and Hacho mostly. Blue can now definitely run down Hacho probably, and they at least get a keep off this. I think they're going to go for the boss instead. That's probably smarter. I think they can send one to clear mid. Yep, Nasmus is going to go clear mid. That'll push them to 16. It'll possibly give them enough gems to turn in after the boss. This is a good sleep look. They should kill Cassia first. It's good that they waited long enough on the sleep for Cassia to lose all 30 of her armor. They didn't wake her up instantly. I guess Hacho had most of the gems. Maybe killing Hacho there is proper. I think they could have got both if they killed Cassia first. It's harder to chase down Cassia, I think, once she has the armor and the... Okay. I think that was a waste of Corgi Booty's self-cleanse. That'll be up at 16, or 17, 18. Yeah, I think it was kind of rough that they lose mid-fort there for this. Also, they do still get the boss, and now they do get a turn in behind it. Okay, I don't know why we're zooming in on this boss. I wanted to see if Corgi Booty was going to be able to stall the turns, but I guess it doesn't matter. Because he's just giving it now. I guess he doesn't have a self-cleanse. I mean, that's one of the reasons why wasting it there was kind of not as good. Looks like pretty standard talents from everybody else so far. I don't like Executor's Will from Tassadar on Madara. I think you almost always want the W at 16 when you go that build, because that's the attack range at 7, which spawns the second W. So you're doubling your Ws and you're making them do 40% more damage. Because the spell power doesn't interact with the W's damage amplification. They're additive with each other. So the spell power is basically half as valuable as you think it is. Whereas the damaging faster is like a multiplicative thing instead of being additive. So it's a much... Like, he's effectively getting... I think it's 25% spell power. He's effectively getting like 10% damage from that. Maybe 15% at best, compared to 40% on his Ws. And in the meantime, it only buffs his Q damage slightly. This is a good sleep. They should kill Jaina off that. Now they probably end. That was a very good shove. D.Va Bomb might defend enough. I still think it's probable that they end here, especially with the mid-waves crashing. That's a very good wall. They should kill Buds here off of this. The rest of the team wasn't really able to follow up. Corgi Booty is doing a very good job stalling them, but now Hosty Greymane is on core, and I don't think they can stop that. He needs to not tank a wave. Good dodge by him. They break the mech. They should be able to kill Corgi Booty. Good laser by Madara. Hosty's going for the kills. I think Hosty should just be hitting core here, but I mean, it's fine. They win anyway. Alright. Overall, I think well played by blue team. Pretty much they scaled. I think the red team would have had a much stronger early game, but Hacho was trading his health bar a lot and sliding in aggressively when there really wasn't any potential for kills. And I think that was hurting their ability to engage a lot. Jaina definitely struggled in this game. They needed the wave clear, and they late picked her very late in the draft also. But she just wasn't really able to stack ice blocks. She wasn't really able to pressure from kills, mostly because the ETC couldn't land engages. I didn't really see too many impactful Valkyries either. I think Valkyrie could have been bigger. They almost got a pick on Deckard with it once, I guess, on the Johanna Unstoppable. But I think they could have gotten more picks. Yeah, Tassadar never died. Deckard only died once. I think they could have maybe ganked Hosty also in the early game. Especially ETC should have done that with Jaina most likely. But Jaina was stuck clearing top lane. I mean, this is pretty much a reason why I think Echo Pedal would have been good. And I think you just generally want more wave clear. Like Stukov is low wave clear, Cassia is low wave clear. Like Jaina's fine. ETC's low wave clear until level 7, and then he's still pretty slow. This map is all about wave clear, so the team with more wave clear just won from being ahead on waves pretty much in the early game. And they couldn't, like they have their kill pressure to match with the ETC is stuck clearing waves. So then the Cassia, the one who's freed up from doing waves, doesn't actually have kill pressure with the ETC. So their damage pairing was kind of off in terms of their comp. I don't think I'm a big fan of Spine Launcher here either. I'm not really sure what it did for them. I don't remember what all of Stukov's level 1s are. So maybe it didn't matter. Alright, I think I have to swap off of the clean feed while this is doing this. Until it comes back. You can find out. Got Volskaya. Maybe I can stay on the clean feed. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. This looks like a very official... It has a game stats screen. It's probably fine. I'm going to assume it's fine. If I get yelled at, might be. Yeah, and this looks like an official screen. Okay, I think it's fine. The rules on this are kind of weird, and I don't really understand it, but it's alright. I wonder if we can peep the mainstream and see what map is next. I'm getting an ad! No! Alright, never mind. We're not doing that. Not gonna watch an ad. So what would I like to see next game? Depending on map, of course. I think higher priority on ETC for the team, for blue team, if it's open, because I thought that was kind of their plan at the start of draft, was like they get D.Va, we get ETC, which is kind of trading two S-tier heroes for each other. I think D.Va's probably stronger than ETC, but by a fair margin. But I mean, at least I can sort of understand a possible strategy behind it. I don't think Greymane really did much for them. It was able to do camps, but I think something like Raynor could have done that equally as fine. But it gives you a lot better lane pressure and safety into ETC as well, and a Mach Interrupt. And it's much better siege if you go Hyperion and stuff. Like, I don't know, I feel like Raynor, if you're going to pick an early DPS, I feel like Raynor Sylve are kind of, like, Sylve was banned, but I think those are the main heroes you would go for. So I didn't like the Greymane. I felt like it wasn't very impactful. I think the Johanna was okay. Actually, the Johanna was played pretty well. The Johanna was solid, and I like it for the map, so that was good. It helped them get ahead on rotations. It's a wave clear pick. I liked the Johanna. I think the ETC, letting the ETC go was a little bit rough, but they also didn't really utilize ETC as well. And I think for the map, maybe it was okay. Giving D.Va was kind of questionable, but I guess they made it work. Ural was good. Ural was played solid by Nasmus, of course. Tassadar was played pretty well. I think the 16 talent was still pretty questionable, but that's kind of unintuitive, and you just have to know that as like from doing the math testing it and stuff to see how it works. But yeah. I also think that it gives you like cooldown reduction or something too, but that's not as valuable for stuff in that build. If you're going more Q build, I think it's more valuable, but then would probably go the percent damage Q and a different level 7, the cooldown reduction one. Banning Chromie away from Madara. That is pretty valuable, having a hero that people ban against you a fair amount. It's full Skya. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say Maka should not get Sylve because this is one of Sylve's like top 3 maps probably. Having Sylve on the turrets here is just extremely strong. I don't know if Corgi Booty would play Samuro here. He probably would. I think they would still prioritize D.Va if they can get it. Switch they ban here. Medivh? I don't know which player. I think Hosty plays Medivh. Hosty was a good Medivh. I remember that now. Okay, yeah. It's coming back to me. Took me a second or two. I do remember that being one of Hosty's main heroes for sure. Blue team banning Junkrat again, I believe. That's the same ban as first game. I think that's okay. Giving D.Va 2 games in a row. I'm not sure if Nasmus just feels pretty okay into it, if they like doing the lane swap thing. It seems like they have a plan for it, because I don't think this is something that you would do without knowing that you're doing it, kind of. Although, maybe that's not true, because we did it earlier without knowing that we were doing it. But, I also think this is possibly D.Va's best map. The bomb is just so strong on mainly the support camp fights, but also turret fights if those happen, but mostly on just the objectives themselves. First pick Tyrande is very unusual to me. To me, that signals they want to go for some sort of kind of blow-up comp, maybe off a Diablo, maybe off of a Garrosh, maybe an Anubarak, maybe a Muradin, some type of thing like that. Taking the D.Va away, I think, is very smart. Going with Ana, I'm not sure I like Ana into Tyrande. I think Tyrande is pretty good into that matchup. But I also don't know how big Weird Day's hero pool is, and I don't think he wants to play Deckard again. He could maybe go Stukov. I think I would probably like Stukov more than Ana here. But maybe they don't want to give them away an Ana pairing. Going Abathur Johannes. Now I like the Tyrande a little bit more. I'm not sure I like the Johanna here for Hacho. I think I would prioritize a different tank still. Probably like a Garrosh, maybe a Diablo, or ETC. I think Johanna is just slightly below some of the other tanks right now. Like, she's kind of at tier 2. She's still decent, but not nearly like as strong as she was after the nerf. Hurt her a lot more than I expected. They are going to ban the Samuro, because they have the Abathur, and Corgi Booty does play Samuro. Definitely smart. And then what are they going to ban here? I think this is a mage. A mage that probably pressures against their team. Could be Ming. Could be... I don't think they ban Tassadar again. I don't think they would feel too concerned about Gul'dan. Maybe Kael'thas? No, I think they could get on Kael'thas. I think I would ban Ming here if it was me. They're gonna go with a tank ban instead. Against Garrosh also, I feel like Tyrande is pretty fine into Garrosh compared to most other tanks. Like, I think she would struggle into, yeah, like a Diablo, a Anubarak, maybe a Muradin. But I think Garrosh, she's okay. She seems pretty fine into Garrosh to me. It's kind of unusual. So here, I think they should pick up... Oh, they're gonna Cho'Gall now. Okay. I don't want to cast it anymore. I barely wanted to play it earlier today. Why? Not like this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's the thing, is like now, Madara gets no scouting value from this. Because he literally just does nothing but press buttons all game. Like, there's no positioning, there's no macro you can do, you can't call or rotate people, like, you're just entirely dependent on what Cho wants to do. You remove yourself all agency in the game, almost. Alright, Leoric is fine. Yeah, Rainer's fine. Would I want Rainer here? Why didn't they go Greymane? I feel like I would want Greymane here, right? I don't know if Maka's as confident on Greymane. I think he's a big Rainer Sylph player like me. Which, like, I think those are the two best S tier DPS, pretty much. So it's like, I don't know, I can't fault you. I think Cassia would be good here too. I would pick Cassia over Rainer for sure. I think Cassia or Greymane here would actually be better. I don't see the need for Rainer. Artanis? I mean, sure. Actually, I like Artanis a fair bit here. The blind is very good for Rainer and the clone. They're just gonna nano Cho'Gall at level 16 and win the game. And they just need to scale and stall until then. I mean, this game is like, it's so pointless to analyze this game. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, this is what it's gonna be today, I guess. I was subbing. It was okay for me to do it because I'm subbing, and it was like what they wanted to do, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go along with it. It's not my place to shut down their draft ideas. Like, it's their team that they want to show off. I have a different time that I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. I don't need to worry about it. I can play serious in those games. All I hear is bias. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, here we go. Things are gonna happen this game. Hosty playing Artanis is unusual. I did not expect that to be a Hosty hero. I think Hosty just plays everything. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe Hosty plays everything. Why is Hosty signed up as a DPS if he plays everything? Maybe Hosty's like a really good 6th player. Maybe he's just like your MVP sub. Because he just like plays everything if you ever need it. He can sub for tank, he can sub for offlane, he can play Abathur, he can play Zarya, he can play Vikings, he can play Medivh, he can play Artanis apparently, he just plays whatever. Alright. The Owl, it hits Cho'Gall. Alright, GG, go next. Rainer's ace in the hole. Really? I guess you'll want damage? I almost think Rainer should go stacking this game. Hold up, this is actually the only game in my lifetime that Rainer should go stacking. Exterminator's still good at killing turrets and stuff here, but I think they do want the damage if they're basically solo damage Rainer. Do they need the slow? Do they need the slow? I don't think they need the slow. I think he should go stacking. That's my hot take. That's my hot take for this game. Rainer not stacking. Kinda trolling. Well, the Cho'Gall Diva is possibly the biggest bully that they could have put together in this 4-man, 3-man, whatever. I like the Artanis being the offlaner here into Leo. I think that's smart. I wonder if Artanis is stacking too. I wish I could see talents. If Artanis is stacking, this comp is kind of gigantic Galaxy Brain. These Abathur mines are gonna just be annoying for Ana all game. They should have Cho'Gall dropping eyes to scout them and clear them. And Diva should be the one clearing them, probably. With her boosters or whatnot. So they're doing camps. I think Rainer should be the... well... should Rainer be the one to have turret? Should be someone in the 4-man, it's not Leo. Rainer might be too vulnerable, actually. Ooh, good sleep. They don't have the damage, I think, to actually kill anybody this early. Maybe Bud's having turret is fine. Yeah. Normally I think you want DPS to have turret because you need to place it a little bit further up. But against their team, I think it's going to be hard for Rainer to step up anyway, and he might actually die if he steps up, and losing a turret is, or having to drop it is really bad. So maybe it's better that Tyrande has it. Because if Tyrande is able to step up, Rainer's going to be able to step up, probably. And so it's fine if she's the one that has to drop it. It is awkward to play Abathur on this map, though, because very frequently you end up in situations where you have like 3 or 4 items, and you're like needing to juggle people around the map just to pick up the extra items that you're picking up. Cho'Gall should be massively favored on this point fight. He's just gonna spam buttons at them and do a bunch of damage. This is a bit over-aggressive. I think that's fine. Neither team is doing their siege camp, which is very unusual. Normally you want to time the siege camps out. I don't think D.Va's fast enough to clear that in like 10 seconds. Normally want to start the siege camps much earlier than this. Kinda slow. Good job by Nasmus to group it though. I think he's hitting all three there. Yep, it looks like he is. So good job by him. I wonder if all three are in close range. It looks like they are, because they're all dying equally. Nice. Optimal camp clearing efficiency. Pog. Cho'Gall set up on the point first. Both teams were kind of equally late doing their camps, and both still decided to do them, so it's fine. D.Va does camp faster than I expected, though. She only took like 15 seconds to do that. Corgi Booty just has to run. Cho'Gall does big damage. Red trying to push in top lane with their camp. It is very hard for blue team to clear, especially with Cho'Gall standing on the point. Can D.Va get on point in time? Looks like she does. It's perfectly fine. Artanis is not stacking. He's also not amateur opponent. I don't know what that level 1 does. I could look it up. On the second monitor. Meanwhile, we pay attention to the game. Let's see. Raynor build makes sense. Looks like all these other builds are pretty standard. Mule, of course. I mean, Cho'Gall really has no reason to fight, especially if they're winning the objective already. Big swap onto Buds. That should possibly be a kill. He has to drop the turret. Yep, they do have the damage to kill. Just needed to wait for some cooldowns. I think they should focus Corgi Booty here. I don't know if dropping that heal camp was good. I guess it was. Ooh, big swap onto Maka. I think Hosty can maybe chase him down, although he does have the Abba hat, and he has the slows. The kiting Pog. Cho'Gall with the big flank. Good Q by Raynor. Don't walk into it. Okay, good. I think kind of a wasted self-cleanse from Johanna. Alright, let's look up quickly what this Artanis level 1 does. Meanwhile, the mech pushing bot lane. This thing does. Using Twin Blades reduces damage taken from the next hero basic attack by 75%, stores up to 2 charges. So it's a block talent. Interesting. Okay. Against Raynor, I guess it makes sense. Cool. Sure. And Leo, actually, too. And Tyrande does a fair bit of auto-attacking. Abathur died. Ana somehow killing Abathur. Come on, T-Tours. Cameraman, why you do this? Oh, it was only D.Va in the mech. I didn't even realize that it was only one person. I guess it makes sense with their comp. Especially Cho'Gall. It's kind of even more awkward. See how Cho'Gall versus Abathur, both teams are like awkward for camps and who's in the, or items and who's in the mech and stuff. It's kind of weird. Oh, Game Sound died. Rutro. Oh, now it's back. Red Hee-Haw. Excellent name. Ooh, big sleep onto Tyrande. They should get vision of that, shouldn't they? I think they do. Guess they just didn't want to go in on it. Artanis clearing top. I think Red should try and force on... Oh no, they're not level 10, they can't. Yeah, Red is just kind of in an awkward spot here because they kind of need to scale, but they kind of don't want Cho'Gall to scale. So they have like a very narrow window in the mid game here where they're going to be able... They're going to need to like massively swing the game in their favor, and I don't think they're going to be able to. Buds is taking a lot of damage. I think that ult was a bit optimistic. But siege damage ult. Pog! Easy. Alright, Starfall. Falling Sword. Nice. Entomb. Looks like most of these other ults are pretty standard. I never... that's Nano Boost, right? I'm pretty sure it's Nano Boost with Cho'Gall. I can't tell Ana's, but I think Ivehorse is like a big circly thing, so pretty sure. But they're both blue. Colors are so much easier for me than, like, designs or patterns or whatever of ults. Like Pyroblast and Phoenix I always think look the same. Maka might die to this orb. Okay, he gets out. Falling Sword can't really pressure the Ana at all. Big suppression pulse. Nasmus might die, but hopefully he gets a bomb off. No, he's just alive. Alright, cool. Nobody's ever going to die in this game. On blue side, it looks like. Oh, no, Nasmus did lose a neck. Maka kind of wasting the self-cleanse, still dies. Yeah. This is just Cho'Gall. This is what's happening. Red Hee-Haw. Oh, the stall on Hacho. They can engage here. Shove in. He has the Iron Skin. Corgi Booty looking for a flank. He's gonna land the drain. Big drain. Cho'Gall's fine, of course. Ana looking for another sleep. Artanis doing camps. So normally one of the main answers to Cho'Gall is to just macro and to just rotate a bunch and never fight them. And instead, red team has decided to not macro and fight them pretty regularly and not rotate a whole lot. And so they're actually behind in XP despite having the Abathur Global Soak, which is kind of unfortunate. Because it means their mid-game window here is shrinking further by the minute, because now they are a full level behind. Johanna's looking for something here. They need to just engage on this Ana right now. Like, hard engage. They need to just Entomb Falling Sword, Owl, oh, and they lost the opportunity. Alright. Well, now blue is probably going to win this objective. We got a tower, Pog. Bud's missing the Owl. I think you should save Owl for an Entomb engage here. They're looking to engage. Good D.Va Bomb, good Q back. I mean, Johanna's maybe fine, but honestly it doesn't matter. Okay, she Falling Sword's out. Alright. She's good. Posty zoning away Corgi Booty. Yeah, red team is just... They can't do anything now. They just need to, like, go push bottom. Is Raynor... Yeah, Raynor is... Banshee? I think he is Banshee. I think you should absolutely go Hyperion this game. Having a self-unstoppable if you see yourself about to get swept, or slept, wow, I can't talk, or pushed by the D.Va is pretty big. It cleanses blind. It prevents you from getting knocked back by Cho'Gall. It just does a whole lot of things for you at level 20, and I think... I don't know. Is that scaling worth it? I mean, I also think you need the siege damage though, right? Raider doesn't do a whole lot for you, because it's just going to be hitting like D.Va or Cho'Gall and barely tickling him the whole time. Doesn't really do much for you. Yeah, he is Raider. I think I would have gone Hyperion this game for sure. He is Q at level 13, so that's good. We don't see any of the giddy-up Rainers, especially when you have Abahat already, and you especially don't need it. We have Cho'Gall D.Va in the mech. Falling Sword coming in on the Ana, on the Entomb. Ana is able to kill Leo, and Ana is still alive. Posty's not dropping a turret. I think this would be the place to drop a turret, if there is one. I don't know if you can body block with turrets. I think you can. He did body block with the turret on Raynor. Pog. Good job, Posty. Hacho's getting away, possibly? No, if he has shove, he can get in. Maybe he needs to auto the wave. Oh, we just get it. Cool. Cho'Gall can just push down this fort. I think they should go for bottom fort, though. They're getting greedy here. They're never going to kill Corgi Booty. He's fine. Tehran dies top lane. I don't think they care about top fort, and allowing Raynor to just hit the mech this whole time is kind of rough. It's already dead by now. I think they would want bot fort over top fort here, but maybe it's fine. Maybe they've just pushed keep wall here. Siege damage isn't up. I think they should invade turret, and then do support camp, and then take their turret, and then just run it down bot lane, and get the bot fort with 16s. Getting mid fort here is fine. I think taking the turret is better. You could probably get mid fort after with 16 on the way to heal camp. Maybe I would want to do heal camp first. I don't know. Probably doesn't matter too much. Nasmus not dodging the owl. Most talents look pretty standard here. I don't think that's the stun cleanse on Ana, but the only stun they have is Durant? Is that right? I never know the 13 talents on Ana. Or is it 16? It's one of the two. Good sleep. Ooh, big sleep. Okay. Bud's walking into orbs. Maka walking into orbs. You hate to see it. Finish off the well. Okay, good. Abba's soaking top with Het. We have orbs slowly pushing in the bot lane. Cho'Gall is gonna look for a big engage. Maka got stunned. They're just both dead down here. Yep. They got the turret camp already. Oh, I don't think they can chase down Hacho. They can just siege this though. If they could stall backs here, I think Hosty could maybe queue in and look to stall the back on Johanna. If he queued it over the wall. Not a huge deal though. They're gonna get the keep and then leave. Then they take items and soak for 20s. I think trying to end here is super greedy. There's no reason for you to try and do this. They drop the turret. This turret's gonna get like 4-shot by the core. It's not gonna do a whole lot of damage. It's much better if you use 2 turrets at once though, to be fair, so that's at least decent. I guess Cho'Gall does a lot of core damage. I always forget that. Cho'Gall does melt the core, even without nano. I guess they're probably just fine doing this. It needs like full HP, so they just end. Alright. It was greedy, but it works. Yep. That game went pretty much as expected, I would say. Not a whole lot to say or analyze there. Gall doing a lot of damage. Cho doing a lot of damage. Red side, not doing a whole lot. Abba did keep up on Soak with D.Va and Artanis, but I think Abba should have been able to get a bit higher than them. The Toronto's okay. I'm still not a big fan of picking it that early. I don't feel like it was super impactful for them. And then they went Johanna Abathur, is that right? I feel like that was an early pick for Abathur. Like, I think if you're picking Abathur, wouldn't you want to pick what you're gonna have with the Abathur at the same time? Maybe that's why they held off. But then I also think Cassia or Greymane would have been better than Raynor here. Raynor didn't do a whole lot. I mean, he can't do a whole lot into that team. So, Leo also didn't do a whole lot. I think I would have rather seen Malthael. Yeah, not as big a fan of Red's team comp and drafting, I think. I mean, Blue had Cho'Gall, so it's hard to talk about the draft and really analyze it. It's kind of just a Cho'Gall draft. You just pick Cho'Gall, pick a healer that's good. Ana's probably the best one, and just like pick some other heroes. They got D.Va. They picked Artanis to counter their whole team. And that's pretty much the end of it. I do think Raynor should have gone stacking at level 1. I don't think the game got late enough that he would have it would have made a significant difference, but realistically that's 3 people that you can just free hit all game. And if he's just stacking up the whole time, he could realistically definitely get up to like 60 plus stacks, and then it's gonna be a pretty decent damage difference compared to Ace in the hole. And I don't think he would have needed the slow, so I think I maybe would have gone stacking that game. So I think red team is now down 0-2. I wonder what map would I pick if I was them? And knowing their hero pools. I think a Turret Pass could be good for them. Or Garden. I don't know if Garden is in the map pool. Or Alterac actually. What else could they pick? Sky Temple? Is Sky Temple in the pool? Sky Temple could be good. Sky Temple would be good for them for sure. I think one of those 3. I don't think they want to play Shrines. First game was on Tomb. I don't think BOE favors them really. Cursed is okay, but probably not as good as Sky Temple. Could go D-Shire. How do I feel about D-Shire against those teams? Keeping in mind their drafts and hero pools and stuff. Let's think. D-Shire would be okay. I like D-Shire over Sky Temple actually, maybe. They're pretty close. If I was red team, I would probably want to play... I think D-Shire is the more standard map compared to Sky Temple, so it maybe depends on whether they want to play standard or whether they want to play some other... I'm not going to say weird drafts, but like less standard drafts. Like Cho'Gall. think I need to see Maka really carry a game. And if they're going to be banning Sylv, I don't know what other hero he plays that carries that hard. I mean, personally, I don't think his Sylv is even that strong, personally, as another Sylv player. No hate against the guy. I think he's a very good player, but I think Sylv is his best hero, and so, like, I don't know. I'm not seeing something else impressive from here where it shows he can kind of take over games. To be fair, these last 2 games have been very rough on him in terms of just how the comp works. So he is getting shut down a lot just by the comp, so he's not able to do much in the first place. The first game he did okay, I think. He played about as well as you could expect. I guess the second game he kind of played okay too. He didn't do anything bad. He just didn't do anything impressive, exceptionally. So I think picking something that gives him more agency would be good in a game. Like, that should have been what the Abacomp is, right? But then Raynor is just okay with Abathur compared to something like Greymane. Greymane would have had much more agency in that game to possibly do something. Or Cassia. I think Cassia would have been good as well. I don't know if he plays something like Li Ming, but that could be an option. He played Jaina the first game. Probably plays Ming if he plays mages. Third game is... Oh yeah, Towers of Doom! Right. We like towers. Towers is pretty pog. Okay, so Garden is in the map pool. They banned Cursed. Sky Temple is in the map pool. Okay, so we got Towers of Doom. Nice. I like Towers. Towers is always fun. I forgot about Towers of Doom entirely. I guess that's because my team played on it, and I thought it was just, like, gone out of my brain at that point. As for what to think of in the future. Beautiful. Okay. I want to see Corgi Beauty play Samuro this game. I think they should pick it in the 1-2 if it's up, or the 2-3, depending on. If it's not banned, I think blue team should ban it in the first round. Because I think they just need to have more agency in the game. They just need to, like, create chaos and do some stuff. Maka's not going to get Sylv. This is also one of Sylv's best top 3 maps. It's too good with the sappers. They should hold Buds' healer pick for later. Buds needs an impactful healer. I think he's been good on... I think Stukov is okay. Kerosene would be maybe an idea. Banning the Abathur makes sense. They don't want to let them have a Samuro. Banning Vikings also makes sense as a response. They're going to leave up one of Junkrat or Sylv, which they've been banning in the previous 2 games. Should they first pick Junkrat on this map? If Fancy Pants plays Junkrat, I think it's okay. I think Fancy Pants is more of the flex player, and Maka's more of the ranged carry player. Because Fancy Pants was the Abathur last game, I believe. They're banning Junkrat, so they're giving Maka Sylv. I think he should just lock that straight up first pick. They can hold off on Samuro. I don't think... Nasmus does play Samuro, I think. If they're going to play Samuro, I don't think they need to pick it in the first pick, though. I would rather see Sylv. I don't think you should give them Sylv. Or they go with the tank. Hanzo. I don't like Hanzo first pick this early either. To me, that really signals that they're going either Garrosh or Johanna for tank. Hacho got really abused the first game on ETC. I don't think he wants to ETC again. What did he play in the second game? He played Johanna? They're probably not going to Johanna a second time. This is most likely an incoming Garrosh from red team. Blue team should pick... Oh, they left open Medivh, yep. And they're taking away the Sylv. I like that a lot. I think that's smart. I normally don't like picking both DPS early. But I think that's fine. Those two DPS are very generalist and pair pretty well together. I don't like Garrosh as much into their team now, though. That was also a smart pickup by Medivh, and Sylve are both very strong into Garrosh. It gives you tools to get away from throws if they happen. Now I like to pivot into Diablo and taking D.Va. This is smart. I think you should have first picked D.Va and then gone Hanzo Diablo, though. Maybe, I mean, they baited the Medivh Sylve with the Hanzo early. Maybe this is good. We'll see how the second half of draft goes, because this might still be smart. Okay, healer ban. Stukov. Pretty sure you ban Stukov, or Deckard, one of the two. Mouth? Mouth is better into Medivh. I still think I would go Stukov or Deckard. I don't think they need to ban Mouth here. Mouth doesn't. If they were still expecting a Garrosh, I think Mouth is fine. But with Diablo, I don't think you need to ban Mouth. What should they ban? They need to ban Garrosh. Stitches. They're not going to Stitches. Red Robot should insta-lock Garrosh here. And then they should go for something else. 1 second. So I think Red Robot, Garrosh. I'm not sure what my other pick would be here. Probably healer. Stukov, I think. I think I would go Stukov. Yep. Garrosh Stukov is good. Maka should go Raynor. They might need more wave clear. Ooh. What if they need more wave clear? What do they do then? Jaina? I think it's Vala. I don't like Vala here. I would much sooner go Cassia over Vala. I think Cassia's just a straight up better Vala. Ooh, they're solo healer. Against Sylve Hyper Carry, though? That's going to be rough. Nasmus, what are you picking, buddy? I think you just pick something that can match D.Va on rotates. Could be Dahaka. Maybe Zul? Is Zul good into their team? Not as big a fan of Zul. Blaze is pretty good. I like Blaze. Malthael? It's good into D.Va Diablo. Good into Uther. No, I like Malthael. That's solid. Alright. I think blue team hard won this draft. Red team's... It started out iffy on the opening, but it was maybe salvageable. The Vala Uther, I don't think was the answer they were looking for. They pretty much need Vala to get a big D shield and like hyper carry this game, and I don't think they'll be able to do that. I think Leyline is going to be very huge at disrupting their team. I think they are going to get poked down by the Medivh Sylve pretty hard, and it's going to be hard for them to sustain through it with just an Uther solo healer. And Garrosh is just going to punish Diablo if he ever tries to engage. And even if he does engage, Medivh has protects and portals out. I think blue just like hard smurfed this draft. As soon as you gave them Garrosh Stukov as a return follow-up after third bans, I think it was like pretty free. I don't remember what red team third banned, but it wasn't something important as far as I can tell. I mean, Maka does have more agency in this game, I will say that. But it's to the point where the game is... It's basically about Hacho, Maka, and Corgi Booty. Hacho got very punished in Game 1 playing ETC and engaging too aggressively, so I think he might do the same on Diablo, especially early game without souls, and especially into Garrosh. That might be a big problem. We have Portal Mastery, of course. Overwhelming Affliction on Madara. Not a fan. Of course, even against Diablo, you hit the HP cap, and it still does less damage than Might of the Banshee Queen. It does give you the slow. Maybe that's valuable. It's hard to say. I don't think it's extremely valuable, but it's okay. Hanzo's W build, getting some stacks. We don't have Spine Launcher. We do have On a Pale Horse. Vala is Q build. Do I like Vala being Q build here? I'm iffy. I'm undecided. I think it's okay. I think that what it means is that it's okay. It might not be the best, but it's passable. It's at least acceptable. They're going to struggle with wave clear until level 4, but then red team should have better wave clear past level 4 for sure. They don't need to look for an invade here, just trading camps is fine. If you ever have Sylph, trading camps is fine. You don't need to invade with Sylph, because you can just stun their camp anyway. So it does nothing to give it to them. I mean, it gives them some XP, but it's like meaningless. And very easy to defend. I think Garrosh doesn't need to step up as hard, because he's going to be taking a lot of poke from Hanzo Vala. I think he just needs to counter the Diablo's engage. He doesn't need to look for the flanks himself. I mean, Stukov can still heal him up. Maybe it's on Medivh that he should be protecting more of the poke better. It's hard to say. I think Medivh wants to play pretty passive until he's stacked though as well. This is good. Keep him in the silence. Keep him thrown in the silence. Body blocked in the silence. He does get the flip. They can possibly finish him off. Madara got too poked out. I think Hosty could have played more aggressive there. I think Hosty possibly had a portal also. I think they could have portaled and probably killed Hacho. Or maybe engaged onto somebody else. Ball is going Q more. Hanzo does have wave clear talent at 4. I think that makes sense. Sylve is Merc Queen. I think that makes sense. We are not Die Alone. We are Memento Mori on Malthael. Interesting. Actually, I think I like that into an Uther solo healer and a Diva Diablo. I think it will pressure their healer much more. We have Disable on the wall. He should dagger the mid wall so that it spreads and disables both. Garrosh should be okay here. Very good protect by Hosty. He needs a portal out. Looks like he's just fine, actually. There's the portal out. They can tap. Robot, if he doesn't have a tap, needs to just back and come back, and they can stall with a Medivh. Yeah, Red Robot can't really step up that aggressively, I don't think. Looks like he's fine. Maybe he has a tap soon, and he knew he had the protect. I don't think they can stall that, though, now. Yeah, Hosty should be the one stalling there. I think that was a little bit over-aggressive by Blue, and they gave up an altar that they didn't need to, but overall it's not a big loss. It's completely fine. They are going to trade topside, of course. Blue is ahead for level 7s. If Malthael gets this mid wave, yes, good. Good turn by Nasmus to catch mid instead of top here. That pushes them to level 7. We should have Disable. Again, he's daggering the tower instead of the mid wall. The damage from Dagger comes from the damage over time. So if you can spread it to both towers, you basically double the damage of Dagger on the important structures. You actually triple it because you're also getting it on the mid wall. Whereas just daggering a tower only gets you the tower and the wall, so it's only twice the amount of damage. So you're getting 50% more structure damage out of your W, and you're disabling both towers sooner, so your wave lives longer. Yes, now this is proper. But now he doesn't have Disable up. But he daggered the mid wall that time, at least. You should also try and dagger when the wave is nearby, so that it spreads to 7 more extra targets. And you get an additional 7 times damage from the dagger spread. Because it's majority from the dot. The initial application of dagger does like 25 to 50 damage. It's like meaningless. Completely negligible. He's Festering Wounds at 7. I am also not a fan of that. I think you should 100% go Lost Soul here. I think Red Robot is still getting overly aggressive. They pushed in 1 Sapper. It's okay. I think they could have possibly poked in on Red Robot harder there when he stepped up, but overall not too big a deal. Blue team being ahead for level 10s is very big for them, because they're probably just going to be able to fight. Well, maybe this altar comes up in time. Yeah, it doesn't look like they'll be level 10 in time. Alright, Red has a brief window here where they can look for an engage. I don't know why they're all rotating topside. They're going to try and get the Malthael on the flank. I think that just gives up bottom fort, though, and the altar at the same time. I think this is really over-aggressive from them. This camp does not matter. They need to be defending the bot camp right now. They think that they can't do that because they're going to be down 10s, but they're not down 10s yet. I am a big not fan of this rotate. Big not fan. Yeah, they gave the entire fort. Hacho also should not be here. He might get out. He doesn't get out. Yeah. And now they traded top wall for bot fort. Not worth, my friends. Not worth. They could have looked for an aggressive portal back behind that wall, I think, on Red Robot, but they don't really need to. Now blue is rotating super aggressive. Oh, they're gonna get Buds. I think they would just rather defend bottom here, though. Maybe Malthael can do that on his own. Buds just needs to die. He should just int into the tower right now. Like, staggering a death for longer is pointless. Okay. Well, this gives red an opportunity to retake bottom. Are they going to try and boss? I don't think they should try and boss. That seems really early. I mean, okay, so they gave up bottom for it by doing a bad rotate, and then blue is like, ah, you have rotated poorly. I would also like to rotate poorly, and we shall give you our advantage back. So that we are back roughly even. You are welcome. So generous of blue team. Very, very generous. How nice of them. I don't think Valla should go strafe at all this game. I think going Rain of Vengeance, if only to interrupt Massive Shove, is pretty big. Or interrupt Garrosh combos. And Taunt is also very big. Or to prevent Sylve from taking an E with her wave and forcing her to use Self-Cleanse for it, potentially. Also very big. Rain of Vengeance is very good. NA Arrow. We need... If we're gonna fight here, we need to fight, like, earlier than that. Like, that was our fight. That was our 5v4 fight, pretty much. They're split from this portal. I still think red team could fight here. They're just gonna trade. I think red team is playing a bit too passive here. I mean, they're basically even on shots. They're not down significantly, so it's not like a big loss for them to give the altar, but they're also now not pushing in the Sappers bottom lane. They should get set up to invade this camp, though, because they're 5v4 bottom lane here. Now they're looking to invade. They allowed the Sappers to already get cleared, though. Like, if you were going to fight here, you would want to fight when they were way further on your side of the map, on your camp, before the altars even spawn. I don't know. Don't really agree with red team's rotations this game. But blue also made some rotational mistakes. Malthael now has a big rotation advantage down here. It looks like he's just going to do the camp. But I think blue could look for a fight with an aggressive portal. They would have rather done it when the Diablo was shoved away, though. So they give the camp. Malthael still has rotation advantage on D.Va. D.Va's clearing mid. Malthael's heading top. Blue team needs to be a little bit careful of a D.Va flank here. She is coming down. I don't think they saw that on the mid wave. They are scouting it, though, with Medivh properly. I think Sylve should be bottom and pressuring this wave and clearing the wave and pressuring the Sapper camp starter. Looking for the aggressive portal. Yeah, they allowed them to clear 2 of the Sappers there for free, and they really didn't need to. They should have prioritized pushing that wave in harder, I think. But being scared of the D.Va is reasonable. But I think once they saw that she wasn't coming down, they were fine. I think they rotated up mid and then like doubled back down bottom. And the backtracking lost them like 5-10 seconds of rotate time. They can look for a pick on Buds there. Red Robot wasn't positioned as aggressively. I think you could have been with Medivh. Like, you can always portal out and get protected. You're fine. I don't like wasting throw just for a combo there. I mean, it completes its quest. Maybe it's okay. APOC with no combo. You hate to see it. That's NA ping, by the way. Just straight up whiffed APOC combo. Buds gets interrupted. Good taunt by Red Robot. Malthael is soaking, or capping the mid altar. That's a triple Red Robot stun. Big ley line here. They should kill the Valla first. It can ignore D.Va. Silence arrow comes down. Strafe comes out. Blue team can completely disengage. They forced the bomb already. There's no APOC. They still have to force out a D-shield, so they don't want to commit super hard. That was a weird throw. I'm not sure you should throw your Diablo into the backline. There's the D-shield on the last rights. Forcing that out is good. Blue team can play this really slow at this point. As long as they sustain through, they're fine. Nasmus might get caught and die. He's fine. Hacho goes down. If he can get on Maka, good portal in. Hosty getting those Qs in on Maka. Getting the portal crows on the autos. Maka might get out on the backside there, but they're going to kill Fancy Pants. Uther not able to sustain through the healing. Oh, Madara, and they do kill the Valla. They should cap bottom first. Madara can disable the fort, and they should take camp right now. And they should get 16, take the whole fort. Maybe they want the 3 shots after. That's actually reasonable too, because you have disable here. Nasmus. Micro missiles. D.Va autos. Nasmus, he turned around for the wave thing. I think he was out if he didn't turn around with the wave. Maybe the jet propulsion would have killed him. Okay. Now they can cap the altar. They should invade their camp. Yeah, they missed the invade window on the camp, though. I think you want to take the camp before red can get it, because that just allows them to possibly retake bottom even easier. I don't like not invading the camp there. I think you invade the camp just to take the fort faster. That allows you to take the second camp for free without them contesting like this. Especially with Nasmus dying. Nasmus dying was really bad there. It's a very bad timing. Now they actually give 2 camps instead of getting 2 camps. And they can't defend bottom fort. They should be able to defend bottom fort here, actually. I don't know why they've left so hard. Garrosh should not be mid. You would give up a mid wave here, it's fine. Maybe they just want to keep the advantage for 20, but I think keeping the bot fort is more important. Sylph should be stepped up here to stun these sappers. I mean, the fort's already dead, actually. It's fine. Letting them consume is fine. I think that fort would have died with only 1 sapper explosion, but it wasted 2 of them. It's a bug, common bug that's existed for years. Good silence to finish off the mech. Corgi Booty goes down. So they trade offlane picks. Boss here, I'm not a big fan. I think I'd rather defend bottom. But getting it off the map is okay. If they win next altar phase, it's more important, but they don't know that they're going to do that yet. And I think I would rather have 4 altars for the altar phase, not 3. Big portal flank here, though. Good ley line. Doesn't hit Maka. I think Medivh could have had a better ley line than that. There's the arrow coming in. Good unstoppable by Red Robot there. Also very good unstoppable by Weary Day. Madara's got a flank here. He should be stutter stepping in forward. He's just thirding. Okay. D-Shield comes down. They should kill Maka. Fancy Pants has no jump. Nasmus can kill Buds. Don't worry about him. Just focus on Maka and Fancy Pants. The old throw in to throw out type thing. Madara has disable. Nasmus wasn't able to finish off Buds, but now they probably get him. I don't think he walked into that wave. Yeah, Nasmus doesn't have a mark on him. Well, so they kept 4. Madara? Yeah. I'm saying Madara. What do you mean? I'm saying Madara. It's fine. Okay. Or you mean like Madara? You want me to say it like faster? Okay. I understand what you mean now. Okay, well, it's fine. Force out Diva Bomb here. I don't think they need to contest this super hard. I mean, they get the lethal, but I think securing your altar first before you go too aggressive here is kind of the better play. Nasmus lives. Really good throw by Red Robot to save Nasmus there. And very good ley line also. Corgi Booty's gonna try and build up another bomb. Think they give... What do you mean I've never seen Naruto? What the heck? It's not true. My weeb card is not being revoked on this day. APOC combo, very good ley line. It whiffs the Wailing Arrow, but that's still way worth it to stall out their main combo. Throw in on Corgi Booty. He doesn't have a bomb yet. Buds is alive. De-shielded. So they trade the Malthael, but they're all super low. Corgi Booty doesn't get a bomb off. Hacho's gonna go down. They already got Buds. Maka and Corgi Booty. Red Robot can't chase Maka. He's gonna die. They get Fancy Pants. Trying to kill Corgi Booty before he can get another bomb, or another mech is pretty important. I think they kill Maka here. The throw-in of Hosty is always funny. Madara needs to be careful. Okay. They need to tap, and then invade the camp. They should invade the camp while they're dead, instead of doing their own camp. Why is Madara just AFK here? Okay, they're doing this camp. It's fine, it's not optimal, but it's fine. You don't need to waste disable here. Don't use disable here. Because you might want to disable mid wall, or mid fort, while these sappers push in, so that you can take a free fort, possibly. You should have backed beforehand. And now you don't have the window to invade, because their death timers are done ticking. Blue team. You're so close to doing things properly, but then you just don't... You get 90% of the way there. It's that last 10%. It's tripping them up. Alright, we've got Bolt from Sylve. Medivh cheats, of course. We don't have Gloom at 13. That's kind of questionable. Maybe it's fine. It's fine. That's the spell damage. 16. Hanzo's Pierce, he's got the Q movement speed. If you get away from Garrosh. And it helps him dodge Medivh stuff. And Stukov stuff, I guess. So they get an altar. They weren't able to get the invade. If red team can get bot fort here, there's a chance. I'm not saying it's a comeback. Oh, Medivh flank. Ley line. Back line. Okay. It effectively worked. It was a little questionable hosty, but it was somewhat okay. I thought he was gonna ley land the back line. Ley landing the front line was weird. And he aimed it like completely NA arrow. Alright. Well, they've traded the Medivh for the Diablo, but Diablo has souls. Not sure if worth. Corgi Booty has a bomb. He's 1 HP. Alright. Madara. Barely living. Okay, I'm fine. Install the sappers out. He should have a disable here. He's not using it for some reason. I don't know what else he used disable on, but it's fine. There's a Diablo there. He can't stand in front of his fort. Alright, he didn't get engaged on, it's fine. Very good shove. Okay. D.Va should bomb this to secure the fort. He didn't bomb. Maybe he wants to save it for the altars. That's kind of reasonable. They should be able to get mid fort here. Okay, red has the chance now. This is the one health comeback. They should try and get mid fort here if they can. Maka can burst it with Qs. Just Q, E, Q. You want to E backwards. And then Q. Excellent. We did it. Nasmus. Interesting flank push. Might be an int. Might be a god flank. It's Schrodinger's flank right now. Corgi Booty. He gets the stall. Blue team. The Hellgate doesn't get anything from it. The arrow, the APOC combo. The ley line preventing the follow-up. Hacho goes down, no souls. Nasmus still on the backline, just kind of hanging out. Red Robot. There's the D.Va bomb. Madara gets the bolt over. They get the stall on Nasmus. Nasmus hinted. Does he have buyback? Insta buyback? Nasmus? He insta buybacks. We've got... Okay, D-Shield come down. Maka, the tiny portal. Bud's trying for the channel. Oh, Corgi Booty, he's gonna have a mech. He gets the mech off. It's 5v4. Blue team should be favored. Oh, good shove. Leyline, kind of weird. Oh, the double back Leyline. Hosty gets the portal. The tiny portal. Oh, we got the shots. Alright. What a game. Blue team, pretty convincingly ahead all 3 games, I would say. Their macro just felt a bit stronger. Still a little bit of mistakes, I think, but I mean, it's always hard. It's much easier to say that when you're like, I can see the whole map, and I can see all the timers and everything, and I'm not in the moment, and it's so much easier to do it when casting, to call macro like that, compared to playing in the game. So they were a little bit understandable mistakes. It was kind of like I would have expected maybe a bit better shot calling from like Nasmus or Hosty as far as HGC experience than to have those kind of mistakes, but I don't think either one of them was probably calling macro in that way. It was probably more on Red Robot and maybe Madara. But yeah. Maka definitely did much better this game. I think Hacho really struggled in all 3 of these games. I think the Uther solo healer didn't really work out in practice. I think it's really hard to pick it into Sylvanas, which just does so much damage and pressures you super hard. I'm still not sold on the VolaQ build. I think it was good. I'm definitely not sold on the Strafe. I would have definitely gone Rain of Vengeance. But I think the Q build is okay. Hanzo, I don't think was super impressive. Corgi Booty played D.Va. It's hard to be too impressive playing D.Va. Did Corgi Booty play D.Va all 3 games? Is that what happened? Game 2 he didn't play D.Va, right? What did he play in Game 2? No, Game 2 he did play D.Va. I think Corgi Booty played D.Va all 3 games. Wow. I mean, they won all 3 games as blue team, so I guess giving D.Va not a problem for them. Yeah, overall I think it was pretty much just down to macro and drafting, I think, favored blue in all 3 games, from what I saw. think their comps were just generally easier to execute, and I mean the Cho'Gall for one is pretty straightforward and simple. I don't think Red really had a holistic game plan going into drafts that it felt like was like it felt like they were just kind of winging the drafts, and like the front half of the draft would be good, and then the second half of the draft wouldn't be the correct follow up to it. So I don't know. I don't know if that was just people picking heroes that they just wanted to play. I don't know if that was somebody leading draft who probably shouldn't be and just had the wrong sense of what was going on. Not really sure what the issue was there. Would probably have to watch the games back and listen to comms and whatnot. But overall, good games. Not as much a fan of the Cho'Gall. I thought us playing it would get it out of the way. Other people wouldn't play it. And I didn't even want to play it because you just have no agency as a DPS as Gall to do anything of value aside from just press buttons. But whatever. More Cho'Gall games, I guess. I think one of the casters, Doa or something, really loves Cho'Gall, so hopefully he will be pleased. That's all I'll say about that. Alright,